Well, thank you, Glenda. I'm grateful for those kind words. Now you say, okay, taxes and attitude of gratitude, kind of how does that work? I mean, after all, it's death and taxes and all those other fun things that we deal with. Well, I'm just going to tell you something. What makes me an expert? I've got seniority, not on some of you, but on many of you. And I'd like to believe that I have some wisdom that goes with it. So I'm going to challenge you today to don't accept anything that I say from the front of the room. Try it on, see if it works for you. And if it does, that's great. But at least consider the information and before you summarily dismiss it because it came from the CPA tax guy. Is that fair enough? Okay. So what is an attitude of gratitude? Why do we want to live with an attitude of gratitude? Well, let's start off by going, what is attitude? What is gratitude? It would be good to know the terms we're dealing with so we can better understand them. So an attitude is a way of thinking, acting, or feeling, and feeling, manner, or behavior of a person towards a situation or towards a cause. So you look at that and you go, well, okay, there's many ways that looks at. It's an attitude is a choice of what we do, how we look at things. And we see a lot of this today. People do have attitudes, I think we can agree. We're not going there today, but just know that we have attitudes. And that's why I've asked you to kind of consider it. There may be something different. So there's some things we control. We control our feelings. We can control the manners. We control our behavior. But what I'd like to do is I want you all to will you play with me today? Okay, I want everybody to stand up. Okay, and an attitude has something to do with your action. So what I want you to do now is look down at your feet. Okay, and now kind of slump your shoulders and let your arms hang down a little further. And I want you to say, I feel great. I feel great. How do you feel? Not so great. Okay, so keep that position. Now what I want you to do is now stand up straight, kind of look at me. Now put your hands over your head. Twinkle your fingers up there and say, I feel bad. Look around at all the smiles. So your attitude is certainly be controlled in many, many ways. Go ahead and sit down, by the way. And so, it's something that we can certainly control. So what is gratitude? Well, gratitude is a way of feeling because somebody did something nice for us, or because there's a desire to do something in return. It's thankfulness. Anybody like that sound? But we look at this, and this is not a perfect world. Screws fall out all the time. So bad things happen. So what can we do with that? Well, life tends to be good and bad, but they're dualities. It's kind of on a gradient. And we deal with good, bad, light, dark, up, down. There seems to be these dualities. And just because it's bad for you, it may be good for somebody else. So how useful is that label for us? Ask yourself how useful your labels are, because we have these dualities going on for us. So, as it says here, we can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or the other side, we can say, well, thorns have roses. Same bush, difference in perspective and attitude. So there's a song back in the 40s that went, you gotta accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative. Don't mess with Mr. In Between. That was Bing Crosby and the Andrews Sisters, neither of which I am, I might add. You may have noticed that. So, the thing is, it's bad, it's good, but Napoleon Hill, one of the great writers in personal development, said every adversity and every failure, every heartache carries with it a seed of greater or equal or greater benefit. Have you ever been in a situation you went, Mom, this is horrible, it's terrible, and it turns out it's the best thing that ever happened to you? You got to look at yourself and allow yourself to at least take some time to look at things and see if, in fact, is there another way to look at it? Is there an alternative way to deal with it? So what we look at is the law of attraction. And the law of attraction basically says like attracts like. You get what you focus on. Have you ever noticed that? Where you put your energy and where you put your focus is what you're going to get more of. So you want to look at that. Look at some of the people that do that. Let's look at some of the stories we have. Christmas story, Ebenezer Scrooge. Where was his focus? Was he getting more of what he put out there? The Grinch Who Stole Christmas. Of course, they both reformed. And then, of course, we have Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore, and Tigger. Eeyore is, of course, oh, bother. And he continues to find things to be oh, bothered about. Pooh, on the other hand, is pretty positive, and Tigger is enthusiastically positive, because the wonderful thing about Tiggers are wonderful things. So it's a choice that you get to make, and it's a way of going back to our, keeping focused on your attitude of gratitude. We go back to our attitude. It's a way of thinking, acting, and feeling, and it's a way we do that. So. It's a way we, think of useful thoughts. We can create an attitude of gratitude by thinking useful thoughts. Is this serving me in a positive way? Is this something, or am I just kind of being sucked down the drain down there? So be thinking about how does it serve you and what is it doing for you? Hang around positive people. That's a good way to keep an attitude of gratitude. Jim Rohn said, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Look at the 5 people you spend the most time with and say, is that an average I want to deal with? And you may want to change the people you hang out with. Go to places that make you feel good. That's always good. And that, it can be the park, it can be your lounge chair, it can be any place that makes you feel good. That'll increase your attitude. It'll help you look for positive things. And then we're going to appreciate the beauty around you. I love Richard's posts on Facebook. Every morning he posts a morning picture from his miracle morning. And it's just, even on foggy or cloudy days, he finds some beauty out there. And there's beauty out there to be found. So, and then also be willing to receive gratitude from other people. We have been taught all of our lives, it is more blessed to give than to receive. We all heard that growing up? Yeah. Well, guess what, though? It's also a blessing to receive. Have you ever thanked somebody who said, oh, well, no, it's a great-looking dress, Karen. Oh, I've had it for 20 years, and it's just some old thing. How does that make you feel? Not so good. But Karen said, wow, it's one of my favorite dresses. I've had it for years. Thanks for noticing. See the difference with that? You're now giving gratitude back to the other person. So learn how to receive gratitude. That's something that we can all do more of. So how do we do this? What I do is I've got a blessings journal or a gratitude journal, and every morning I write in it. And here's mine that I brought with me. I know you're surprised. It's not the leather book. And so every morning I'll write in it, and it's time for me to reflect. It's time for me to write down my blessings, what things I'm grateful for. I do it in 3 parts. If you want to get started with it, make it easy and just do, hey, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. I also celebrate my wins, and I give thanks at the end for having all these wonderful things in my life. And as you focus on those positive things, what happens? As you're living your life, you start to see them. You start to find them. So you have this part of your brain called the reticular activator. And the reticular activator kind of helps you focus in on things that you're looking for. When you buy a new car and you see the car, you drive it off the lot, you've never seen another one like it, it's perfect, it's wonderful. And the minute you drive it off the lot, you see them all over the place. That's your reticular activator. It helps you find things. So by helping you find things, and you're going, I'm writing blessings in my journal, I'm writing wins, I'm writing things I'm grateful for, guess what your reticular activator does? Finds things for you to be grateful for. So that's one thing. I then put down my blessings. I then celebrate my wins. You know, one of my big wins, every day I celebrate. One of the things I'm thankful for, I'm thankful for my lovely wife. She's the best thing that ever happened to me. And trust me, I look for things to be grateful for, and I don't have to look very far. My win is I woke up this morning. That's a great win every day. You know, I'm on the top side of the grass. It's all good. And I survived yesterday. That's my second win. So find wins. And again, during the day, you'll kind of notice that, oh, wait, this was a win. I need to write that in my journal tomorrow. And then give thanks for what you do have. And because, let me find this thing. The more you express your gratitude for what you have, the more you have to express gratitude for. It's going to build for you. Zig Ziglar said that. So I would suggest to you, if you don't have a journal, get one. You don't have to have a journal. It can be a yellow pad. It can be one of the black and white composition books you get at the dollar store. You don't have to have a fancy pen. You can get a Big Chief tablet with a pencil that rests on your shoulder. Any of those things, and they'll all work for a journal. You can get leather bound and write it with a quill. It doesn't matter. Just start somewhere and make sure that what you're writing are things that you are grateful for, not things that other people think you should be grateful for. Because this is yours. Own it, and don't put any filters in. I had something come up the other morning, no telling where it came from. I am thankful for my skin that holds my earth suit together. Don't know where that came from, but when you think about it, it'd be pretty messy without it. So what I'd like you to take away from this is make sure that when you come up and you're looking for gratitudes, just make sure they're your gratitudes and blessings, because again, own these. The more you own them, the better your life will be, the better your attitude will be. Start somewhere. I've got to get the right pen. I've got to get the right book. No. Just start. And celebrate your wins. And notice what wins are. Sometimes not achieving something can be the best win you've ever had, because when you look at it later, you want, boy, I'm glad I didn't get that. And be gentle with yourself. Go, I didn't do it today. Dadgummit, I'm bad. Every day's a new start. So, and then be willing to receive things from other people and be willing to receive gratitude from them. So, quote from Winnie the Pooh, and that's from Piglet. Piglet noticed that even though he had a very small heart, it could hold a rather large amount of gratitude. So, what I'd like to end with is one more little exercise, and then we'll go to questions. So, this is an exercise. You can do this one sitting down. Okay, and we're going to close with this one. So, what I'd like for you to do is put your left hand up just barely to the right of center, left of center. Put your right hand up barely to the right of center. Now, what I want you to do is slap them together, take them apart, slap them together, take it apart. Thankfully, I'm grateful for having you as an audience today. Are there any questions? Dale?
Not so much a question as a comment.
Yeah, sorry, I can't run the microphone. I'm good, but I'm not that good.
It's not really a question, it's a comment. When you made that comment about we're an average of the 5 people that we're closest to, it made me think about how elevated and excited and energetic I feel after I've been around 5 of my E4E subscribers or partners. And it's just a tremendous group, and I am extremely grateful for all of them.
Thank you, Dale. And I totally agree with you, which is the reason why you should sign up to be a subscriber, by the way. Who else? Comments are welcome too. I mean, The floor is yours. Well, not to take with you, but
I want to let you know the best takeaway that I take from this is learn to receive gratitude. That's really hard. You don't realize, started talking, and I'm like, yeah, I have a really hard time receiving it. I like to give it out, but when people say something to me, it's hard. So that was a good takeaway.
oh, good. Well, I'll tell you what, let's do something since we have a couple of extra minutes. What I want you to do is think about one thing that you're grateful for right now. It can be a little thing, it can be a big thing. Okay, you got it? Now, share that with somebody at your table or at another table. Share it with one or two people and just say, what are you grateful for? All right. So now that you've had a chance to do this, okay.
Reel it back in.
Be very, very quiet. Now, how did that make you feel sharing your wins and your gratitudes? Wouldn't it be great to do that more of the day? All right. Well, thank you very much, and you all have a great day and live with an attitude of gratitude.